Today I'm going to be sharing with you the project from the Tilted Charms Open Gate Quilt quarterly subscription box. This is such a fun subscription box. It comes with all of the fabric that you need for the top of the wall hanging, the binding, and the backing. So all you need to bring in is the batting. And the best part is that each project comes with a wall hanger designed for that project. So this month's is just adorable. It is so cute. Look at that watermelon here. I'll bring you in and show you everything that came in this box, but I just thought that wall hanger was absolutely darling. So these wall hangers are designed by Patchabilities, and they hit this one out of the park. It is so cute. So this is the Tilted Charm Club Summer Watermelon. It's going to be 12 inches by 40 inches. So let me show you the fabric and the pattern. So here is the pattern. Oh my goodness, the watermelon are just so cute. So I'm going to cover up some of the instructions, but the patterns are so lovely. I love all the photographs and everything that Monique puts in them to make sure that we understand how to bring the quilt together. So the fabric is Fruit Loop by Motive Fabrics. So if you're liking what you see, that is what the fabric is. So this is the sashing color. And then here is the binding. I'm gonna guess this is part of the backing fabric. We have the background fabric here. Here are the little watermelon seeds, and it's already fused to be able to just cut out and attach them to the watermelon. So that is really handy. And then here is the Fruit Loop fabric. So let me move this over. It's so cute. So you have some watermelons and other fruits in here. So I'm so excited to get started on this. Look at that watermelon. Oh my goodness. So cute. All right, so I'm gonna get all my fabric pressed and cut, and then we will take a look at all of the cuts that we have for the two blocks I'm gonna put together and start working on them. All right, so I have all of the fabric cut for this pattern, and I actually made one of the little watermelons. It is so cute, so I'm gonna show that to you, but let me show you all the cuts first. All right, so everything on here makes the watermelon, and I like to kind of lay them out where I know they're going to go, or close to where they're going to go in the pattern. It really helps me make sure I get everything put together correctly. So like I said, I made one of the little watermelons, so there's only 4 pieces here, but I have them layered in order so the correct fabrics go together when I piece the watermelon together. So these squares here all needed to be marked corner to corner, so I did that. These are marked corner to corner as well, so I went ahead and marked all of those. And then these here need to be marked corner to corner as well. And let me show you how the block looks. So I have it upside down. I need to press those better. But you can see how the watermelon slice comes together. It is so cute. I'm going to kind of point out where all these pieces are. The first one you'll make is this one here, where it's kind of like the bite taken out of it. And that is this square. These are the little triangles on the end, and then we'll put on these pieces. Then the bottom part of the watermelon is added on. Then we'll add the rind on the bottom and then the sides. And this is when we're going to do the side rind here to kind of start to get that curve, and then the final 2 blocks here. Now, it is a lot of small pieces, but it really is easy to come together and so worth it. It is really, really cute, isn't it? So what we have to add on to this watermelon to make the final block piece is these border pieces here for it. So one set of them is going to make the watermelon kind of tilt toward the right, and then some of them will be tilted toward the left. Then we have the sashing, and these are gonna make some little patchwork borders around the quilt to finish off the top. So again, there it is. So we have some rocking to the right, some to the left, and then that patchwork border, we have the pink sashing there. All that's left is for the back of the quilt and the binding. So we have the binding cut here. We have like kind of a patchwork that we're going to do with the rest of our charm pack. And then these are for the side. So that's how that will look. And then again, we will have the little watermelon seeds to add on as well once I get those blocks all the way together. All right, so I have everything laid out to make one of these watermelon. So we're gonna start with the background rectangle and one of the little watermelon squares that we marked corner to corner. And we're just gonna sew right along that marked diagonal line. Once I get it sewn, I'm just gonna snip off about a quarter, between 1/8 of an inch and a quarter away from that seam. And then I'm gonna finger press and then add some heat there with my iron to get it pressed nice. Once it's pressed, I'm gonna add on the watermelon square that is marked diagonally to the other side. And we're kind of making that little piece on the watermelon slice that looks like a bite was taken out of it. Okay, trim off the other side. I finger press that over. And then I'm gonna press that seam. All right, after we got that little piece made, we are going to add on the watermelon rectangles on either side of that piece, or on both sides, not either side. Okay, so I have one side on and I'm just gonna finger press it for now and add on the other side. And now after that, I'm gonna press it. All right, and then that biggest piece of fabric for the watermelon is going to go underneath that. I cut mine a little long, so I am just going to center the piece I made. I could go recut it. I could go check the measurements and recut it. But I'm just going to kind of make it work. And just to note that throughout this pattern, there are graphics, and those graphics have arrows on them, and those arrows let you know which way to press the fabric here to help reduce bulk in this pattern. All right, so you can see that I have a little bit of overhang here on either side, and I have it all pressed now. So what we're going to do is add on what is going to be the watermelon rind to the bottom of this segment, and I'm going to center that as well because it was definitely a miscut on my part for that piece. I was probably looking at the measurement for something else. Who knows? It happens, right? All right, so I'm going to finger press that. All right, and then I pressed it with the iron. So this is how the piece is looking now. And we're going to add on the two long, thin rectangles to both sides of this piece. So I'm going to lay one out. And the nice thing is when I do this, I am able to hide that little mistake I made with cutting that piece too large. So I'm going to sew this in place. That's just kind of why I don't stress about things like that. If it's not fitting, I'm like, we'll just wing it, make it work. It's fabric, we can cover it up. Look, you can see the pieces sticking out on either side, but once I press that, you aren't going to see it anymore. So it'll all just work out. So I'm going to press that with heat. And this is where the magic comes together. So we have this all pressed and we have a few pieces left. So we have 2 squares that we marked on the back corner to corner. We're going to lay that down in one of the corners where the rind kind of scoops around, and we're going to sew across that diagonal line. Okay, and we're going to do that on both sides. And we're going to be making it appear that it has that curve, the watermelon curve to the slice. Okay, and then I'm gonna cut my 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch seam allowance. You could do this with the rotary cutter and a ruler that has a 1/4 inch marking on it as well. These are just really small pieces, so using the scissors just works a little faster for me. So I'm going to finger press that and then press with some heat. And then we have our final 2 pieces for making the watermelon slice. And they are background pieces, small little pieces with the lines drawn corner to corner that I showed you earlier. And I'm going to put those in those same corners we were working on. And I'm going to stitch across that line. Trim off. And then we're just going to press those. All right, so we have the cute little watermelon, and now all we have to do is add the border around it and trim it up so that it gets that rocking look to the slices. So I have my pieces here. You would need 4 of them for each block. And there is a very handy diagram on the pattern to show you how to work these around the block. So I'm going to start with my first one. You're going to want to have some overhang on each side. And I am going to start sewing about 1 inch to 1.5 inches from the top of the watermelon block. This is because I'm going to need to sew that down later after I get all of the edges around. I'm going to back stitch there to hold it in place. And I'm just sewing to the end of the watermelon slice. I'm going to fold this over. And I'm going to trim a little bit of it off. A lot of it's going to get trimmed off in the end when we square up this block. But just going to get some of it out of my way. All right, so I press that, and now I can sew across each of these edges completely. The thicker edge, I'm going to put about 1/4 inch overhang there. A little more, a little less won't hurt anything with this one. Then press. Just trim a little bit of that off again. Again, I'm just going to hang the wider edge of this border triangle over about 1/4 inch and sew across. All right, and so we have the last triangle that is going to go on, and that one, that the first triangle that we sewed on to the border, we're going to lift it away where we didn't sew across the whole way. That's because we need to lay this one down and sew all the way across there first. Okay, and we're going to press that. And then we're going to finish sewing that first piece down now. Okay, cut off some of that excess. All right, so I'm going to press this block really well. And it is definitely looking pretty wonky here. So what I'm going to do is trim this up to size. All right, so how cute is that? I think this block comes together just beautifully. I'm gonna put in some clips of me sewing up another block from another angle. I'm not gonna talk through it. I'll play some music to it, but you can just see the block come together again, hopefully with some more close-up shots so you can see exactly what you need to do. All right, so I have all of my watermelons done, and you can see how they rock in opposing directions, and that will make this wall hanging just so cute and a lot of fun. So all I need to do now is get the sashing put between all the blocks, and then I'll make that patchwork border around this wall hanging as well. I will get that all sewn together, and then I'll show you how it looks finished, the quilt top portion. And then in one of my next live streams on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central, I'll show quilting this wall hanging and finishing it all up. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.